Hey there, welcome back to the channel. We are again looking back at some of the watches that we got our hands on at Watches and Wonders 2024, which was just last week. Today I want to talk about some of the new watches from Piaget. This is a brand that I've been very fond of for a long time. I really love what they're doing. And this year they seem to be catching a lot of momentum for all the right reasons. This year marks the 150th anniversary of Piaget, the Maison, and they are celebrating in a few special ways. Now, first off, I just want to touch real quick on the Polo 79. They did have this watch there. This was released a few months back. I did get a chance to see this in New York when it was released, but in Geneva I got a chance to get a little more time with the watch, so I'll have some thoughts on that here as well. But I want to start out with what is likely the star of the show here from Piaget, and this is a ultra thin Altiplano Ultimate Concept tourbillon. So back in 2018, they released the original Ultimate Concept Altiplano, which was just 2 millimeters thin. So this year they're following up on that with basically the same dimensions of a watch, except this time it has a flying tourbillon inserted into it. This is now the world's thinnest tourbillon watch, and it required a few unique engineering solutions, namely with the cage around the tourbillon. So the tourbillon is actually mounted into this cage that surrounds it, and the gear that the escape wheel uses to make its rotation is embedded within the bridge that actually mounts it to the case / movement. There's no real differentiation here between the case and the movement. They are kind of all one thing, sandwiched together in a space that is just 2 millimeters thick. This is an incredibly impressive watch, and not only is the mechanical execution of the watch very impressive, it's also aesthetically quite beautiful. I'm a big fan of the design of the Altiplano, and this brings that concept through really beautifully in dark blue with some gold accents and the silver of the gear train and the exposed mainspring barrel. Now, because of this unique case, the crown, once it's out, requires a special tool to facilitate winding the watch. Experiencing this watch in person is very unique. The tourbillon is usually something that introduces a bit of depth in the dial. It's something that encourages you to kind of look closer and look into it. It's more like looking at a screen almost. It's completely flat, obviously. They did still manage to tease out some depth in the dial here, which again creates for this really interesting dynamic between these two things. Also from Piaget, they have a new Polo watch, which is a 150th anniversary edition that kind of follows through the design motif pattern seen in the original Polo into the dial here. And finally, the Polo 79. This thing is just as impressive as it ever was. This thing captures a vibe of exactly 1979 through the early mid-80s. It kind of captures that feeling perfectly. It's all gold. It's quite heavy, but this watch is such an experience. I really love it. I would love to see it in other materials too, but that might take something away from just how special this watch is in gold. What do you think of this watch? I'd love to hear from you on this one. I would also love to hear your thoughts on the ultra thin Altiplano Ultimate Concept tourbillon. All right, that'll do it for this episode. I hope you're enjoying the coverage from Watches and Wonders 2024. We'll have more coming to thedeeptrack.com. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. And if you enjoy this content, a like and a share helps out a lot. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care.